All right, so if you're new here, hey, I'm Natalie Warren. I'm a fourth generation Charlottean, but I actually left Charlotte for 20 years. I lived in Boston, Los Angeles, and Amsterdam. So when I talk about Charlotte, it's not just hometown bias, it's lived comparison. And after moving back, I can confidently say that Charlotte is one of the best places to call home. People always ask me, why did you move back? These are 20 things about Charlotte that hit different once you lived in a major city. First things first, big city amenities without big city exhaustion. Charlotte gives you pro sports, great restaurants, shopping, and real job opportunities without feeling like you're constantly sprinting just to exist. In places like LA and Boston, even simple things feel hard. Traffic is exhausting, schedules are packed, everything costs more time, more money, and more energy than it should. You're always rushing, always behind, always fighting the city just to live your life. Charlotte gives you everything you want from a big city without the burnout. If you've ever sat in LA traffic or gone through the Boston tunnels at rush hour, you know. Charlotte traffic, annoying at times, soul-crushing, no. Your commute doesn't dictate your entire personality here. Natives, they'll tell you differently, but if you are from a big city, it's not going to be a problem for you here. The next great thing is here in Charlotte, you can own a home and still have a life. And this one really matters. In a lot of cities, home ownership feels completely out of reach unless you've got a trust fund, family money, or you're still splitting rent with 3 roommates at 40. Even people doing everything right, good jobs, steady careers feel locked out. Charlotte still gives people a real shot. You can buy a home, build equity, and actually enjoy your life at the same time. You're not choosing between owning property and having freedom. You can have both here. Charlotte hasn't turned homeownership into an exclusive club yet, and that makes a huge difference. To put it in perspective, the median Charlotte home is right around $420,000 in 2025. And homes are selling in about 2 months, which shows real demand, but still real opportunity compared to other markets where entry-level homes can push far past 6 figures. Number 4, people are genuinely friendly. And I don't mean like fake friendly. People make eye contact. They talk to you in line. They show up when they say they will. They let you in traffic. You're not getting cussed out on public transportation. No one's yelling into their phone at 8 a.m. You're not bracing yourself just to exist in public. The baseline level of daily stress is just lower here, and you feel it in the way people treat each other. Next up, and one of my favorite, weather that lets you live outside. Charlotte averages more sunny days per year than many other US cities. So even in winter, you still get bright, clear days to be outside. Winter here still feels like winter, crisp mornings and the occasional flurry, but you're not trapped indoors for months on end. Charlotte only sees a couple of inches of snow a year, so you feel the seasons without it ruining your calendar. Here, you can actually be outside year-round with the exception of a few days. You get to enjoy your weekends, go for walks, hikes, golf. Here, you get to enjoy the seasons and not just survive them. There are hundreds of beloved patios and rooftops around Charlotte, from uptown rooftop bars to neighborhood patios that locals flock to year-round. Charlotte is an outdoor lifestyle. Now, this is important for the people who like to travel. The airport is incredibly convenient. Our airport punches way above its weight. Direct flights almost everywhere, easy access, and it's actually really efficient, which matters way more than people realize. Parking is easy and affordable, and we're known for the rocking chairs throughout the airport, which pretty much sums up Charlotte. We move fast when we need to, but we don't forget how to sit still. Next up, easy travel. The beach, mountains, and tons of lakes are all within a weekend drive. I grew up on the lakes here, and having that lifestyle so close to a major city is not common. Not about that lake life. We're just 2 hours from Asheville and 3 hours from Charleston. We have the best of both worlds. Now, Charlotte is a city of neighborhoods. One of the things I love most about this city is that it's truly a city of neighborhoods that have their own personality. Each area has its own rhythm and its own community, and you can find a neighborhood that fits your lifestyle, values, stage of life, and your just overall vibe. Whether you want walkability and an art scene or a quiet tree-lined suburb, strong community or strong schools, or just a more laid-back pace of life, there's a pocket of Charlotte where you'll feel at home. And because people tend to self-select into neighborhoods, that reflects how they live. You naturally end up around people with similar interests and lifestyles, which makes building a community a lot easier. Where you live in Charlotte matters, which is why I built my neighborhood matchmaking survey to help people find their perfect fit. You'll find the link below, and it's basically a dating app, but for Charlotte neighborhoods. It asks you all about your likes, dislikes, and then matches you with 3 neighborhoods that are the perfect fit for you. Next up, you can still build wealth here. And it isn't just about home appreciation. Charlotte's economy is growing in a real and tangible way. Charlotte's job market and economy are booming compared with other U.S. cities. Over recent years, Charlotte has been ranked among the top 10 large U.S. metro areas for economic growth, with strong gains in jobs, GDP, and population. That kind of momentum matters when you're thinking about long-term opportunities. Big companies are continuing to invest in Charlotte because of its workforce and business climate, and it's not just banks anymore. Scout Motors, the electric and hybrid vehicle company backed by Volkswagen, has officially selected Charlotte as the home of its corporate headquarters. Scout plans to bring about 1,200 high-quality jobs to Charlotte by 2030, with the average salary around $170,000, well above the regional average. Now, if you like to keep it informal, this next one's for you. Charlotte is a casual city in the very best way. You don't have to get dressed up or be on all the time. You can come as you are, whether that's workout clothes, kids in tow, dog on a leash, or straight from work. The city doesn't demand a version of you. It meets you where you are. And that ease shows up everywhere. Restaurants, breweries, parks, neighborhood events. It's comfortable, unpretentious, and welcoming. That kind of culture makes it really easy to belong. Next up, if you were looking to escape the hustle and bustle, this one's for you. The pace of life is balanced here. People here are ambitious, but not frantic. When you get to the Carolinas, you will immediately notice the pace is much slower than other major cities. Not lazy, not complacent, just more intentional. It's going to take you a minute to adjust, but once you do, you're going to love it. If you're used to rushing and packing your calendar and measuring your worth by how busy you are, this is going to be a change. But once you settle into it, it changes the way you see life. You still work hard, you just actually get to enjoy what you're building. Almost every relocation client I work with tells me the exact same thing. They want a slower pace of life without giving up opportunity and convenience. Charlotte delivers that balance. Here in Charlotte, our southern roots are still strong, which is part of the charm and appeal. Charlotte is a real city, but it has the southern culture woven into everyday life. You've got country cooking alongside chef-driven restaurants, horseback riding just outside the city, college sports that people genuinely care about, tailgates and packed stadiums. It's polished without losing its roots, modern without feeling disconnected. You can live in a walkable neighborhood, work at a corporate job, and still spend your weekends at a farm or a football game or at a barbecue joint. That blend of city energy and southern tradition is something you don't find everywhere, and it's a big part of what makes Charlotte feel special. Charlotte is a city of transplants, and that makes it incredibly easy to adjust quickly. Most people here are building community from scratch. They're not surrounded by lifelong friends or extended family, so they're actually open to meeting new people. I've lived in places where everyone grew up together, and if you weren't from there, you always felt like you were on the outside. Charlotte is the very opposite of that. In no time, you'll be invited to a brewery, a church, a neighborhood cookout, or whatever it is you're into. People want to connect here, and that's why there's so much pride here. People choose to live in Charlotte. They weren't just assigned it by birth. Now, this one is very important. It didn't exist when I was growing up here, but the food scene in Charlotte has really made progress. Is Charlotte New York City? No, but it's way better than people expect, and it's still improving. The food scene here has really leveled up, and it's starting to get national recognition. We just landed our very first James Beard nominee, Counter, which tells you exactly where things are heading. Charlotte is not trying to be something it's not. It's finding its footing, building momentum, and getting better every single year. What's one of the worst parts about a major city? The parking. Here in Charlotte, you can park just about anywhere. Now, natives will argue with me about this, and that's fine. But if you're coming from a top 5 major city, Charlotte parking feels like an absolute dream. A restaurant with no parking in Charlotte? Very rare. And if that happens, there's probably a valet. This isn't the kind of place that you're going to be circling the block for the next 30 minutes. Charlotte is a city that is still growing and hasn't peaked. So you're not late to the game here. You're actually early, and that's a really exciting place to be. Charlotte isn't just growing, it's booming. Between 2023 and 2024, the Charlotte region gained 57,000 new residents. So it's growing, but it hasn't peaked yet. Now this one may catch you off guard. Southern manners are real here, and you might think people are being sarcastic, but it's genuine. Holding doors, saying thank you, teaching kids manners, That kind of Southern politeness still exists here, and it's not considered old-fashioned. It's intentional. You see it in everyday moments, not just special occasions. Cotillion is still a thing here in the South, and kids are taught how to introduce themselves, shake hands, look adults in the eye, and be comfortable in social settings. Here in Charlotte, you'll notice that there is a baseline level of respect that makes daily life smoother, and it's honestly really refreshing. You'll hear a lot of yes ma'ams and no ma'ams, and it's not about age. It's definitely not meant to be offensive. It's a sign of respect, and you'll hear it from kids, adults, service workers, really everyone. Once you understand that, it actually feels really warm. It's just part of the culture here. When I first moved back to Charlotte, I was surprised about how polite children were. Charlotte is a really good city for families, and it shows in the day-to-day life. Parks are everywhere, tons of options from museums to indoor slide parks. There are tons of neighborhoods where you feel comfortable letting your kids ride their bike, walk the dog, or play outside, which sounds simple, but it really matters. Now, the youth sports programs here are really out of this world, and it took me some adjusting to get used to it. Whether your kids play rec sports or travel or somewhere in between, there are some real opportunities and a strong culture of community around them. And there are a wide range of school options. Traditional public schools, magnet programs, charter schools, language immersion programs, and then private schools. Charlotte gives families tons of choices, which means kids with different learning styles, interests, and strengths can actually thrive here. One thing Charlotte does really well, and honestly, it feels pretty European to me, is they've created a lot of spaces where adults and kids actually both want to be at the same time. You'll find places like bowling alleys that serve craft beer and specialty cocktails, but also two-story slides and outdoor swings and games for kids to run around. Parents aren't stuck choosing between entertaining their kids or enjoying themselves. You can do it both. It's social, it's relaxed, it's designed for real families. It's a city that supports families without forcing everyone into the same mold. And that flexibility is a big reason people stay here once they move. Next up, neighborhood pride is real. People really care about where they live. When I have out-of-town clients visiting, the comment I hear every single time is how clean the city is. It's one of the first things people notice. And yes, the HOAs help keep things in line. So you're not living next to someone whose 1980 Oldsmobile has become a permanent yard ornament. When people invest in their homes, they invest in their neighborhoods, and Charlotte reflects that. Well-kept communities tend to stay well-kept, and that consistency matters when you're putting down roots. And last but not least, it feels like home even after you leave. Some cities are exciting, Charlotte is grounding, and that's why after 20 years away, I came back and chose to raise my family here. If you're thinking about moving to Charlotte or moving back, I'd love to help you and figure out where you actually belong. Drop a comment if you've lived somewhere else and noticed the difference, or if you're a Charlotte native, I'd love to say hello. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I talk all things Charlotte real estate and what it's really like to live here. Find all of my information below, as well as the link for the neighborhood survey. And feel free to call or text. It would be my pleasure to show you around my hometown. I hope to hear from you.